music, melody. Yes, okay. Nice one from Mr. Anatoly Kaipov. And he's saying, good transmitting, good DX. Good DX for you and your family. And of course, you need the DX as much as they do. I'd sincerely say it was true. This is Rudolph Grimm. Are you the gentleman that wrote these fairy tales or something? Is your report a fairy tale? No, it isn't. It's real. I'm writing to inform you that on September the 19th, I had the great opportunity to listen to your station 640 here in Sao Bernardo City, which is near the big city of Sao Paulo, southeast in Brazil. Where was he listening? 20 University, here we are again. I know, Bogusman, why do you bother to have a transmitter? It isn't worth it, Bogusman. Now think about this sensibly, rationally and logically. Just post the programs to the University of Twente in the Netherlands and tell them to air. They wouldn't do it though, but no, that's a problem. No, they wouldn't, because they're too busy educating people. It was an amazing experience to listen to your station, and also invites us to his radio blog. So excellent. A gentleman in Brazil has been tuned into the Bogusman. Is that another first? It isn't really. All people are listening via a web receiver in different continents like Asia and South America. I mean, they are listeners to the Bogusman, but you'd have to say that they are possibly I would not use the word disingenuous or fraudulent, that's too strong. But they are people who are listening with a little bit of assistance from another means. They're not direct listeners insofar as that you would not send a QSL. These people are requesting QSLs, but I would not send a QSL to them because they did not hear the transmission directly. You're being very pedantic about this, but in fact it's true. Of course, the actual reception was within a remote receiver that was then going out over the internet. So it's great that everybody hears by, I mean, if we, whoops, throwing the magnifying glass down there, it would be great if we were on Twitter or Facebook, and we had 1.7 billion followers on Twitter or Facebook. That would just be mind-blowing, wouldn't it? But it's still not radio. It's not proper radio, really, but it's great that you're on board. So thank you very much. And another reception report here. Hello. Oh, it's a follow-up. Again, Frank Colella. I think somebody should reply to Frank in New York, because to be perfectly frank with you, I think he deserves a reply. Would you not agree with me? I'd say he would. Here's a band that came from New York, so it's about the closest that Frank is going to get to a reply. We play a New York band from the late 60s and early 70s. These are the MC5 and Sister Anne. From the MC5. We have a letter here, or an email from Steve Ward. Very brief reception report from Mr. Ward. Listening to us on Christmas Day, in fact, from Arley with a 59 plus signal. think the MC5 is still going on. Do they ever stop? I don't think they do. They have now. So Steve Ward listened to us on Christmas Day, gives us his call sign. Quite an old post office GPO call sign there, but we'd never tell you what it is. And thanks a lot, Steve, in Coventry. And Guy Lelouet has written to us, also heard us on Christmas Day. Wants some confirmation and wishes us a Merry Christmas. Slightly belated, but we've got there with Guy Lelouet. I think he's written to us before, actually. And here's one from Uni Kilpainen. Or Yoni Kilpainen. Is that Finnish? Sounds Finnish to me. Your transmission is booming to southern Finland on Christmas Day 6215, and my listening post is in the capital of Helsinki. The remote receiver is, here we go again, is some 100 kilometres north in the summer residence. No, it isn't a remote receiver like the one in Holland. It's his own personal remote receiver. For a short period there were Russian amateurs speaking. Well, they shouldn't have been on the frequency that transmitter was radiating on. They were not proper amateurs. Not really. I listened to your report, and thanks for a versatile show. I do like the word versatile there. And yes, I would certainly agree with you, and wholly concur that it was a versatile show. I like when you chat and introduced the records. You told you lost your front door key, and it wasn't an easy job to get a spare key. No, thank you for reminding me about that. Also, thanks for a different style choice of music and performers compared to the majority of pirates. I could recognise the Jesus and Mary chain, Jellyfish, the Sisters of Mercy, and the Blue Aeroplanes, indeed. Then you pondered on the brain neurotransmitters role of receiving the flow of time when aging. It doesn't really feel that long from the past decade's music, which I'm also enjoying. Finally, you played music by Mountain and chatted about politicians. Many thanks for that. That's the sort of report we need to get. And there's a gentleman called Hans Godshan has sent an attachment which I can't actually use. I think we should be running out of time on the first segment of Bogusman programs. Oh yes, it's Hans Godshan from Cottbus in Germany, which I think, if I would say, is in the former Soviet zone of Germany. I think it is. There we are. Mountain Nantucket Railroad, Renaissance, late night music, long speech, flashback, cold water flats. Excellent. All the best for the new year. That's from Hans Godshan in Cottbus, in what is now a united Germany and has been for quite a while. I would say it's time for another musical selection, and there may be a slight pause in the transmission during the course of this particular number. You'll recognise it from the late 70s on 7-inch single. It's The Ruts on the Bogusman Show. You'll burn the street. You'll burn your houses. Yeah, we did miss a little bit there. I do hope we didn't mar your enjoyment of the Ruts and Babylon's burning with anxiety, with ignorance and everything else. It's really good to get these 7-inch singles on from the 1970s, although not all of them have come from that specific decade, I would have to say. So, we'll give you our contact details should you desire to communicate with us, as you will clearly be aware many people have. It's Difference Radio at yahoo.co.uk. That's Difference Radio, all one word, at yahoo.co.uk. And of course we are on the internet. Well, you know by now when we're on. Goodness, you don't need me to tell you. How many more times would I have to tell you exactly when we're on the internet and how you can find us on there? And do you know what? After doing it for all these years now, with very little listenership via the internet, I think many more people are listening to us via remote shortwave receivers than the internet. I'm not going to publicise it on today's program. I'm going to be very stubborn about it and say no. I'm leaving it for today. I will play you this though, Dot Allison. And this is a track entitled Melted on the Bogusman Experience. Back with more of your electronic communications after this. The former lead singer with One Dog, a solo outing from her from 1999. That's Dot Allison and Melted. Indeed. Jacques Augustin. And he's in France, you would think so. And he says, here I am. I wish also to tell you of my sincere admiration of the Christmas show a few days ago. This was fantastic. And he sent us a reception report, which is all very clear. A powerful and very clear signal made the listening to be good. So we will thank you for that. And he wishes us a happy 2016. Well, every year's a happy one in the Bogusman's life, as you would know. Jacques Augustin, there he is. He's asked us to reply. I can understand it, you know, if you take the trouble and the time to send an email out and then you get nothing back for it, then it's rather galling, considering we are talking about France. I would say very galling for the people there who don't get their replies. Hopefully something will be done about it. Gina D. Not Gina G, this is G-E-N-A-D. And, here we are. Gina D. Is that female? It sounds like it should be, but the person concerned doesn't say. Oh dear. And it's somebody else listening via the 20 SDR. I hear you at the same time at Stafford SDR. It would be very good on that one as well. So best regard and 7-3, Gina D. European Russia. Not surprising you couldn't hear us too well. But thank you very much. And I'm still not entirely concerned about, I would not be concerned whatever your gender was. I think you could be female, but you could be anything really. So thank you for that. Excellent. And here is Mr. Killipainen from southern Finland. Excellent. Another reception report from him. And a gentleman here, Anton Elias, in West Flanders, Belgium, which is a little bit more peaceful now than it was exactly 100 years ago, I would think. And he says, I really enjoy listening to the show, very original and good music. Excellent. I do appreciate that sincerely, Mr. Anton Elias from Belgium. And another one here from Anatoly Klipov. Ah, yes. Actually, I think it's the same one. It is the same one. I'll gloss over that. It's somebody sent in a duplicate, and they do. Alan Dean, there's a name from the past, who has been writing to us, actually, before the days of electronic mail, when you had to write your report and your letter on a piece of paper, goodness me, and then put it into an envelope and a stamp on it. And that's how far he goes back. Is it's a gentleman from Lancashire? I think it is. Yes, indeed. I heard you on with a telescopic rod at my home, a small town in Lancashire. Oh, yes. Good to hear you, and it's been a while since I last heard the Bogusman and the Ghoul, and hopefully I'll hear you more regularly during the coming months. You might. We haven't exactly made a great number of appearances during this particular year for various reasons, concerning our engineers' extracurricular activities, shall we say. So many thanks for that. That's Alan Dean in Lancashire. And I've got no answer. People are complaining again. Oh, Bogusman. Somebody else, I think we've actually read that out. No, we haven't. It's a separate report from the gentleman who's written to us from Cottbus, Hans Godshine. Northern Lights, East of Eden, Bogusman, Who Needs the Peace Corps, Ika Broughton Band. Oh yes, indeed. Nick Drake, one of these things first. And thanks again for that report, Mr. Hans Grotschum from Cottbus, which I think was a mining town of some description in former East Germany, if I remember correctly. And that is very interesting. And is he here again? Oh goodness, he is. And how many reports has Hans Godshine sent in? Many. The Ghoul, the Killers, this was a Ghoul program he listens to. And there we are. Lemon Jelly, Riker, yes, it was the Ghoul. Music was very interesting and nice. Would be glad to receive your QSL. I think we should send him a QSL, because he's taken the time and trouble to send in no less than 3 separate reports from what I can deduce. And this is Sam Mori with 2 eyes. Again, listening to us via this University of 20. What exactly would you do, Bogusman? Think about this in a sensible, sane, logical and realistic way. What would you actually do if the University of 20 in Holland did not exist? If they didn't have a remote receiver, you'd lose listeners. So perhaps you should send a donation to the University of 20 so that they can maintain this receiver. And this is a gentleman from Japan called Mr. Mori, SHINICHIROU. And I think we do owe you a QSL club. So listening in Japan, of course, it's the only way he could listen, in all honesty, right out there, unless we had a very, very powerful shortwave radio transmitter, and it just ain't that powerful. This is interesting. Bill Nelson's Red Noise, Mission of Burma, Psychedelic Furs, it was the boat Dolphin Wilson. We just played it. This is fantastic. Oh, it's the same guy from Saitama in Japan, and he is a company employee of 54 years old. Doesn't tell us which company he works for, but this is a very, very detailed report, and in perfect English, in fact, in perfect English from a gentleman in Japan. And if I had a hat on covering my balding head, I would take it off and doff it in your direction, because this is just superb English, and better in fact than most of the English reports we receive from the European continent. And this guy is brick hot, let me tell you. What could I say? Not much apart from far out. This is Yari Laitainen. Yari Laitainen. I think that sounds to me. Yes. I've heard your radio station here in Finland wirelessly on shortwave broadcast. Yeah, he's actually specifying that he's listening to proper radio. Radio is my dearest hobby. It's a fascinating window to the world in a time when there was no internet. Yes, and that is a very, very pertinent and relevant observation. Listening on 6.305 on the 20th of Feb 16, with a simple of all the fours. Bear in mind he was receiving this directly from our transmitter in Finland, and the report is right there. It was interesting night. Only British radio on 48 metres. I liked your musical selection very much. Having listened to Steve from Underground many times, I might that British anoraks are wonderful eccentrics. Well, he's sectionable actually, and so am I, whether it's right or wrong. Listening on a Perseus, I'm a 50 years old grey-bearded man. I am a teacher in comic school and write books of comics and animation. My hometown is Lahti, ski sports centre in southern Finland. And that city, I think it would be a city, was also famous, and I doubt whether they're running it now, but there was a massive, huge, powerful, long-wave radio transmitter in Lahti in Finland, and it used to blast out all over the world. They've switched it off now, I would think, because nobody listens on long wave. You tell that to the French, though, because they're still doing it. In January, it is very cold in Finland. Temperature was minus 25 to 29 centigrade. That is very cold, isn't it? Like, we don't normally get that low here. Listening a cabin on countryside, it's heated by wood. So I had fire all the time. No, I didn't see the bed. I was expecting it. Now it's getting something completely different. 4 degrees here. Let's check the date. I think it was the 20th February, plus 4 degrees. And that's very interesting and informative from Mr. Yari Laitainen. I hope I have spelt that, pronounced that correctly. Yari Laitainen in Finland. Thank you very much, Yari, for that. I think we'll have another musical selection now before we move back to the electronic missives. And we have been playing some late 70s new wave music, well, at least one. Here's another from alternative television, and would you believe it is called Action Time and Vision. Stand by, more electronic mail coming very, very soon.